the direct hit. I'm glad when a check missed the direct hit. I'm sad like, who's that knocking at my window? They say that it's the money, I'm like tenfold. Over and out. That's gon' make you up like a limbo. She said she not a, she an. Why you do that like that? It's a lot of money. Why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bad. You ain't get too bad, my bad. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday, payday, run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. I cop a car, I run it back. Go your then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back.
I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get about the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains. I score up in the end zone, do my dance all on a hater. A mover and a shaker, you a novice, I'm a player. I'm from DC, but I'm running through and sacking like a raider. 2 chains on my neck, one for now and one for later. And we don't play fair, baby, we play for keeps.
Well, the onset of fall weather, Coach, certainly a welcome occurrence for folks in Silicon Valley, and we've got football on a gorgeous day here in Santa Clara as we are situated at Levi's Stadium. The scene a short time ago, this crowd, they love their 49ers, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room, and we're ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle with Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
That! 180!
And now movement here right away. Maybe a sign of things to come with this crowd.
Get ready.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Check. Hey, alert. 61, matchbox right.
From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. A bad start there, a big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's 2nd down. A good safe pass there right off the bat.
That's almost a rhythm play. That's what we like to call it. Get them into rhythm early, something safe, something they're confident about, something they feel good. And once that's completed, then you just keep moving from there because the confidence elevates.
This is a guy who made a Pro Bowl in his 2nd season, James Conner. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
An early test for this defense. Here we go on 3rd and inches. The first carry for Wendell Smallwood. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give them 14 on that one and a first down.
The Steelers first down.
Start. Like 80. Right there. 54 miles. Check. Now spin. 10. Under 10. 10.
On first and 10, it's Roethlisberger. Going top shelf for Smith. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quan Alexander. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Now a man who really stepped up last year. This is Matt Breida. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Hey, alert! 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 He's coming! We got something.
Looking to throw on second down. Garoppolo under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Bud Dupree leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6. That last sack, it puts Garoppolo and the 49ers in a tough spot. They face a 3rd and long.
Hey, box truck. Just like that. Hey, no, look up. Hey, we got Mike 50, huh? You look, man.
On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo. And that is incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Well, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Roethlisberger. And it's complete. He gives this one to Washington. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Now it's Roethlisberger. He gets this one to Johnson. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync.
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what I'll do.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Bud Dupree. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six for a Steeler touchdown. He is a difference maker at the linebacker position. He had a pick six last year, remember it. But it's different for those guys, isn't it, than a corner or a safety?
It certainly is, because sometimes they're pattern reading, seeing what the receivers are doing. Sometimes they're spot dropping, just getting to a place on the field and finding the quarterback and going to the ball. But remember this, these linebackers, at one time in their life, a lot of them were running backs. And they love having the ball back in their hands and making big moves towards the end zone.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one fielded at the 5. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line.
At their own 20-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early? Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away, because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Garoppolo looks to throw. Looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Well, Pettis is quickly becoming the #1 receiving option for Jimmy Garoppolo. Into last year, John Lynch said that they loved the way he closed the season, really came on late. Remember, this is a guy that they traded up to get at number 44 back in 2018 out of the University of Washington. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll be a gain of 17 at a Pittsburgh first. Roethlisberger now 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys at 1st and 10. To throw here, Roethlisberger. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Juju Smith-Schuster with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. And oh, it's no good. For the 2nd time now in this first half, he's missed an extra point. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This one taken from the 7. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they're just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That goes for a gain of 31. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. This is caught. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the number 1 receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a 1st down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Here we go. Like 20. Check 55 to Mike. It's coming this way.
On the sneak is Garoppolo. And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. Jimmy Garoppolo, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Gold with the extra point, and that cuts this lead down to 13. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You've got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Akello Witherspoon. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. Buying time to his left. And I think the ball's out. And it's picked up by the Steelers.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
Well, should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about any more.
Here we go, here we go. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo.
There's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Marquise Goodwin as the first half is winding down, as his guys are back within a single score. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and the lead will shrink to 6. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
Now Roethlisberger to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. That's caught inside the 20. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. 3 first-half touchdown passes now for Ben Roethlisberger. And the Steelers get the quick strike touchdown. Now Mike Tomlin says, let's go ahead and go for 2.
You're not ready. You're not ready.
Final play of the half. It's Roethlisberger to the goal line, but it's incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite, but in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go!
At their own 25-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Matt Breida out of Georgia Southern now in his 3rd year in a 49er uniform. He was tough to keep off the field last year. Very good yards per carry, 5.3 on 153 attempts. Good for over 800 yards rushing. On first down, here's Breida. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Pettis hauling this in from Garoppolo. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 44-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Here's a run on first down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw is Garoppolo. He's going to sling this deep. Oh, man, it's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, 49ers. Jordan Matthews, his first touchdown of the new season as his guys are back within a single score. Gold with the extra point, and this is back to a 5-point game. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They start with a give to Connor. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And yes, complete to the tight end McDonald. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now Roethlisberger. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. He's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the 1st.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. To throw again is Roethlisberger. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag. Because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
He's got some space. Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. This will be the 8th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and inches.
Snicker. 64. Weak.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Just a yard, but that's all they needed. And by the slimmest of margins, it'll be first and goal.
Like 80. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Now it's Roethlisberger. That's caught at the 3. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Big Ben with his 4th touchdown pass of the afternoon. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Garoppolo now, first down throw. And this is Selleck here with the grab. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. Back now here in Santa Clara. It's 49er football, but some ground to cover. They find themselves behind as we hit the 4th and final quarter. Throwing again on second down. Garoppolo completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Garoppolo now. 5 straight completions here in this second half. First and 10. Throwing now is Garoppolo. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 27-yard line. Garoppolo in the offense with a first and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. And he finds his target. It's Matthews. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Matt Breida, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. All right, now what can the Niners do as they face a big 2-point conversion here? Here's Garoppolo to throw. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst. And if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just
now the ball comes loose. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden, they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field. and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the fourth, a costly turnover. A good pick up there of 20 yards. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And maybe Shane's in the steel curtain here as the Steeler defense drops him behind the line again. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
13, 55.
Garoppolo now on 3rd and goal. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Garoppolo looks to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Joe Hayden, the veteran, with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, that puts a little bit of a wrinkle in their comeback bid.
Yeah, everything had turned around for them, hadn't it? I mean, things were now going their way. But you did mention it's a wrinkle in their comeback bid. It's not the death knell for them by any stretch, but now they've got some extra work to do.
A big seam, and he might go all the way. 30, the 20, 10. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. James Conner, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that...
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Interception, baby, all day.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Now Ben going to give this one to Conner. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Roethlisberger will hand to Conner. And an alley to run. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. Jumpy on the right side of the line.
Sometimes when you're on the end, a little bit farther away from the ball, any type of movement will get you to jump, and that's exactly what happened there.
Here's Conner. And he'll get this down only to the 18. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. On 2nd down, Conner looking for space. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
The Steelers on third down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. Able to hit his tight end, Grimble. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
On 1st and 10 is Connor. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Oh, Roethlisberger going to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Read it well, and it's picked. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
That's caught. It's Coleman. 13 yards there and a Niner first. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. To throw, it's Garoppolo. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. And now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. As the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go. Well, that last sack, it puts Garoppolo and the 49ers in a tough spot. They face a 3rd and long. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there.
And he can't escape, and down he goes. Joe Hayden from his quarterback position on the sack that time. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none.
Yes, exactly right.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off on a safety, Jarquiski Tart. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the 4th quarter, trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Joe Hayden, the veteran, with a pick. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Matthews, the intended target. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Roethlisberger going to throw it. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more. A little insult to injury here late in the game. On the left hash, officially, it's called a 51-yard attempt. And his kick here is good. And that will get the lead up to 14. Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
So for the Steelers, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for San Francisco, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll get the extra week to think about this one as they return to action in 2 weeks' time. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.